the Iranian Soccer Federation says it's going to file an official complaint with FIFA over its treatment in this World Cup.
The US just changed its World Cup policy for Iran's national soccer team. Here's why. The Department of Homeland Security says Iran's team will be allowed to travel to Seattle 2 days before its next World Cup match against Egypt.
The World Cup seems to be revealing two completely different versions of America, right? One version that, despite the best efforts from this administration, is actually welcoming, curious about other cultures, joyful in the celebrations. There are Americans hosting foreign teams in their small towns, waving their flags, teaching marching bands national anthems, and sharing tailgates, all while showing visiting fans the country that they grew up seeing in movies.
And then when they showed up and they're crying and singing their anthem, and I've never been hugged by so many men in my life.
And the other version, well, it's Donald Trump.
The President of the United States gave out the club trophy when the World Club Championships were here at Giants Stadium, same venue. Yeah. Will the President be giving out the World Cup?
We will be together with the President, enjoying the final and handing the trophy to the winner, of course, together.
Together you'll be doing it?
Of course, we are together all the time.
After avoiding the tournament thus far, it appears that Donald Trump is set to emerge at the final and personally hand over the World Cup trophy, because apparently the one person who has made this tournament harder for players, officials and supporters must still be the one standing in the middle of the final photograph. In an interview on Fox News, FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed that the president will attend the final and be on stage with him to present the trophy, giving everyone flashbacks to when he stayed on stage during the last FIFA event when he was tasked with doing a similar thing. But all this comes as the Trump administration has once again adjusted their policy regarding the Iranian national team and how they must participate in the tournament. After forcing Iran to train in Mexico and enter the United States only 24 hours before matches, then leave immediately afterwards, it appears the Department of Homeland Security has decided to change their rules again.
The team was only allowed to enter the US within a 24-hour window before the kickoff and then had to leave the country again after each game. The change comes after Iranian officials complained about what they called unfair treatment during the tournament. Iran is one of several teams based in Mexico for this World Cup, but its travel restrictions into the US have been different, creating a tighter schedule for training, preparation, and recovery. Iran's coach recently called his team the most oppressed team in the whole World Cup, and Iran's Soccer Federation says it plans to file an official complaint with FIFA.
Iran had complained to FIFA that it was unfair to expect the team to compete fairly at such a disadvantage. Its coach had said that the team was being oppressed, calling it the most oppressed team in the tournament, and they were at a competitive disadvantage. What we are seeing is that it's apparent this administration are just making up the rules as they go along. Nobody knows what the rules are because the rules keep changing after the damage has already been done. A national team participating in the biggest tournament in the world should be planning tactics, recovery, training. It should not be waiting for the Department of Homeland Security to decide how many hours of normal preparation is permitted to have. The administration is now saying they want the focus to remain on what happens on the pitch, but Trump's policies are the reason that the focus keeps leaving the football pitch. The government created the disruption, then partially relaxed it, and if I know Trump, if Iran progress, he'll likely take credit for it. But amidst all this, I wanted to highlight something that Vox described in a really good article, something that I witnessed firsthand with the Tartan Army, of course, in Boston. Many of you have likely seen across social media. Something genuinely remarkable is happening during this tournament, that despite the difficulties surrounding the tournament with prices, travel restrictions, ice fears at the hands of this administration, World Cup visitors are arriving in the United States and falling in love with parts of American life. You know, the strange, excessive, charming abundance of this amazing country. Fans are posting videos of ordinary experiences like going to Walmart or whatever that Americans barely notice and treating them like attractions. But more than anything, the ability of a country to influence people because they admire its culture, its people, and what it represents is also shining.
I am from Algeria. I live here 18 years. I'm here. Then I am so happy what they did in Lawrence for our team. You are so nice and kind.
We love you guys.
We love you too.
Yes.
And thank you so much for everybody. And 1, 2, 3, Viva Algeria.
Yeah.
I hope they're gonna win today.
World Cup is showing that America still has enormous soft power, but crucially, and I think this is worth highlighting, it is surviving despite Trump, not because of him.
Of the World Cup and rights. The Supreme Court is going to rule perhaps as soon as this week on President Trump's challenge to birthright citizenship. But then comes those Republicans, as you just did, and the White House are celebrating the U.S. men's national team, whose top scorer is a birthright citizen. How should Americans square what looks like a celebration of immigration with efforts to criminalize birthright citizenship?
Yeah, so like all good things, they can be abused, and birthright citizenship goes back to the root of the country, the history of the tradition.
Most powerful moments are coming from communities. Fox highlighted how in Lawrence, Kansas, where residents embraced the Algerian team, locals had waved Algerian flags, wore Algerian scarves. I mean, they put up posters. The University of Kansas, I think, taught their marching band to learn Algeria's national anthem. One elderly local man had actually thanked the team for choosing his hometown. I mean, this is the antithesis of what Trump stands for. This is people embracing a completely different culture.
I do believe that it's kind of happening at a unique time when there's, kind of a global fear of coming to the United States. How can that possibly be? We're just amazed that people would be fearful of coming here because they might be stopped at an airport.
So when the likes of Hoorah Hegseth rant about how diversity isn't our strength, instances like this in small towns across America show that America is respected when ordinary Americans behave in ways that are the opposite of what Donald Trump stands for. When people are open, generous, interested in other cultures, happy to share the country without demanding personal credit or asking when people are actually going to go home.
Before I turn it over to the next speaker, that of course everybody is welcome to come and see this incredible event. I know we'll have visitors probably from close to 100 countries. We want them to come, we want them to celebrate, we want them to watch the game, but when the time is up, they'll have to go home. Otherwise, they'll have to talk to Secretary Noem, who I'll turn it over to now.
And at the same time, Trump's policies are undermining the very goodwill that Americans are creating here. Vox noted that an Iraqi player was detained at an airport for 7 hours. We know about the story of a Somali referee who was denied entry entirely.
Let's get some breaking news. And UEFA have announced Somali referee Omar Artan will take charge of the 2026 Super Cup final between Aston Villa and PSG in Salzburg. Artan had been set to officiate at the FIFA World Cup, but was denied entry to the USA due to suspected links to members of terrorism organisations. Somalia is one of several countries on a travel ban list introduced by President Donald Trump's administration.
Players from other countries have said that relatives and supporters were unable to attend because of the punitive travel rules. Iran's team has complained about disrupted logistics, denied staff visas, and unequal recovery conditions. And fans, of course, were worried in the lead-up about ICE, with civil rights groups warning about fear around stadiums.
That are already shaping the World Cup. At least one referee from Somalia and one Iraqi team staff member were denied entry at U.S. airports in recent days, and dozens of fans have been denied.
What did you call it? Did you call it politics?
No.
What'd you say? I don't forget how you started that question.
Policies.
Yeah, policies are we're not going to allow people that have criminal or maybe perceived to have criminal ties to come into this country. I don't care what your situation is. I'm not going to get into why we denied this individual, but there's a reason why this person was denied. Now, the left media wants to go out there and report and say this guy's a victim of because we're, anti-Somalia. No, we're not. We work closely with FIFA and the administration on a regular basis. We talk to FIFA and their directors constantly. Anybody that was denied, we made the case for and showed them why they were denied. Now, to get into the specifics of it, I'm not getting into the specifics of it. But Iran chose that was a difficult path. If there was any country we wasn't going to allow in here, Iran would probably be the reason why we wouldn't allow them in here. But we did, and we worked closely with the individuals with restrictions. And so there was multiple, more than just these two, there was multiple individuals throughout. We have a World Cup here. We got a lot of countries that doesn't exactly have access to the United States, and we did a phenomenal job on getting as many people cleared as we could, but some people just can't clear. And that's just the way it works with getting a visa to come to this great country.
And the tournament itself is producing quite the contrast where American communities are telling visitors, welcome, while Trump's government is telling them, well, prove you belong here. And the absurdity is that Trump hasn't attended a single World Cup match yet. He skipped the opening. He's avoided the tournament while his administration's policies created many of its biggest obstacles and controversies in the lead up to it. And of course, it's not like he doesn't have the time. He attended the NBA finals, but what happened there again? Oh yeah, he was booed relentlessly. Maybe that's why. He opts to stage UFC events at the White House instead because he can control that environment. He has spent so much time manufacturing other spectacles, but the moment the World Cup reaches its largest global audience, the final, that is when Trump will appear. And that's telling, right? He did not want to do the work of welcoming the tournament. He just wants the trophy moment. One of the reasons could be what the Mirror pointed out. They are saying that reports from Trump's administration have been that staff are concerned about hostile chants towards the president and are trying to limit his exposure to English-speaking crowds. These two stories, they tell us everything about Trump's World Cup. It shows that America's people are very much capable of extraordinary warmth, openness, and cultural influence. Foreign visitors are discovering the country and loving many parts of it. Communities are creating connections that basically Trump can never manufacture. At the same time, Trump is determined to insert himself into the World Cup's most important moment, despite his administration doing everything to try and upend what we've all witnessed as the best part of the beautiful game, and that is when it brings people together.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.